great you're performing tonight. Have you worked with Julia before?
I've worked with her at barbecues and beach hangouts, and yeah, we're just good friends, and so I was honored to be asked as a friend to come and play a song for her tonight.
Were you a fan growing up?
I was, and still am. I'm still a little bit starstruck when I get to hang out with her, but huge fan of Seinfeld and Veep, so it's been great to be around. The rehearsals and the rehearsal dinner were a lot of fun last night.
And do you have a connection to her as well?
We're just friends.
Well, no, she's my wife.
We're Julia, you're just friends.
We're friends with Julia. Yes.
Wait, we're just friends?
I know this guy.
Newsflash, it'll be all over the
Yes.
place. Do you have a favorite character or a favorite moment of hers?
Well, Elaine for both of us, because
Yes,
my
we grew up
sister-in-law.
watching
Well, that
Seinfeld.
too, but then my sister-in-law is kind of like a exact splitting image of Elaine, all her gestures and her curly hair and everything. So every morning we get to have coffee with Elaine, pretty much. So it's kind of fun to be here with her.
What will we be playing tonight?
A song called "Better Together."
Okay.
Yeah,
Is there a
dedicated.
connection to Julia in any way?
Yeah, it's about just working together. Everybody that I've talked to talks about how much they enjoy working with her because she really wants everyone around her to do well, and she has that same kind of feeling as a friend. You know, you walk in the room and she just kind of warms the whole place up. So
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Appreciate it.
So, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, describe her style of humor.
It's just always very real. She's very, very funny, but she's always so. It comes from a very real place always. She never seems like she's trying to be funny, but she's just absolutely hysterical. So to me, that's sort of the defining quality of her comedy, is that it always feels very real and rooted in emotion and experience.
Were you a fan of hers before you met her?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, like most people, I saw her first on Seinfeld, and I loved that show and was a huge fan of hers. And then, been sort of obviously watching everything she's been doing since then. It's really impressive to see how she's been redefining herself as a comedian and an actor over the decades.
Tell us something people don't know about working with Julia Louis-Dreyfus. What surprised people?
She, we would make fun of what we were doing. We weren't precious about what we were doing. So we would constantly, even though we were working our tails off, especially on the writing side, when we got out on the stage to do it, we would, I can't use some of the language that we would use, but it was making fun of these idiotic things that we were doing to entertain people.
Do you miss working with her?
I sure do. Yeah, it was fun just seeing her. It was fun hanging out, rehearsing, figuring out the comedic bits, and then, of course, once they are figured out and somewhat perfected, then when you put them on for the country, I mean, that was pretty intense. You're working this thing out, like 2 or 3 of you, and they go, okay, now let's step in front of 30 million people.
What does she have in common with Mark Twain?
Nothing that I could see.
Hi, Elizabeth Blair from NPR.
What a pretty necklace.
Great to meet you.
Oh, thanks.
Your relationship with the Veep
It is so dysfunctional. Is that what you were saying?
Yes. Talk about that relationship.
Oh, man. Well, we've been doing that relationship for about 7 years, and it just gets more and more dysfunctional. You just wonder it's fun because when you do the show, the writers kind of bring up a lot of stuff that you're like, oh, this is why that relationship is so dysfunctional. Because, Gary started this job with her when he was in his late 20s. And he should have stopped maybe after 2 years. That's probably typically when body men stop. And I continued into my mid-40s, and because I never want to leave her side.
What does she like to work with?
Julia? Oh, she's. I think when I'm asked kind of about Julia and what it's like to work with her, she's obviously so funny and her achievements are crazy. But it's her character that I just I'm blown away by it, because she's. Whoever's the star of the show is number one on the call sheet, and they really set the tone for the whole experience. And she just creates this family, community, exchanging of ideas, tone, no ego, because I just think, an ego, all that kind of sucks creative energy out of a room, and she just knows that. And it's just, I'm so grateful for who she is.
I understand that it's a pretty challenging show. Your acting chops need to be pretty high because you're doing it as it's going along, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that?
Oh yeah, we're all highly medicated. No. No. Yeah, it's, the writers kind of throw you a lot of stuff, but the thing is, like, it's so fun because sometimes we'll have ideas, but then the writers come up with an idea and you're like, oh my God, that's so much better. So I think, to me, I like the element of surprise because you never know what's going to come, even on the day. So that's what kind of makes it exciting.
Hi.
I'm Elizabeth Blair from NPR. Hi. Describe Julia Louis-Dreyfus's brand of humor.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I mean, she is truly referred to among our friends as the queen. I mean, she's high and low. She's complex and simple. She is, like, defining. She's path defining.
Yeah, I think that she's managed to. Like, be a full, like, one of the first characters that is a full woman on television. So, like, disgusting and absolutely gorgeous at the same time. Sorry, it took me a second. I was like, what am I trying to... But so that funny. Is like, we definitely disgusting. Would not have been able to do what we do without that. And I feel like she just commits fully, her full body. Everything is sort of, like, thrown into it. You can tell that she is just fully present and fully committing to the character. And I think that it was something revolutionary when she first came out and is still doing it today.
It's still revolutionary. Like, she still blazes the path, when there was a joke last night at the dinner, like, the only thing she can't do is age, right? It's just like, are we older than you?
We took a photo with her last night and we were like,
I was like,
are we older than her?
I was pissed. You have no idea how old this person is. But, like, she is blazing the path, when we're her age. I hope I do comedy as she still gives all the same juice that she gave 20 years ago. She's otherworldly.
And the Mark Twain Prize, because I know you won it a while ago.
Yes.
How is it different than other awards?
I mean, it's so special for your family. Like, I know Julia's mom is here tonight, and I remember this being a very, very special night for me, but mostly for my parents too. You feel like it's the most grown-up comedy award you could possibly win.
That's great. Elaine, did you grow up as a fan of watching Elaine
huge.
on
Yes, for sure.
Why was she so good?
I mean, she was so funny. She was equal in funniness with the men on the show. She had as many jokes as the men on the show, and she held her own and beyond. I think that really stuck with me as a person watching it who was interested in comedy. I'm going to talk a little bit tonight even just about the way Elaine Bennis used to dress, which was sort of like, don't worry about it. It's up here. I'm funny.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm also, because I'm so
No.
excited to see. What else will you be saying?
Well, I mean, we'll get in there and see. We'll see what makes it to the actual broadcast. But just, to express my genuine admiration and affection of Julia in the form of insults and jokes.
Perfect.
Okay. Hi, you have Julia.
Hi. Elizabeth Blair from NPR.
Hey.
You'll never in a million years remember this, but I was at Catholic University the same summer
That summer. Oh my God.
And you sang, and I can't remember.
I did.
The song.
I was awful.
No,
it's
everyone
funny.
knew.
I think about it. It was very cringy. Anyway, whatever.
But you grew up in Washington.
I did.
Did Washington inform your humor in any way?
I don't know that Washington did, although it certainly helped me play Selena Meyer, growing up in this sort of political vacuum, the Beltway. But my family and my background in that sense was more sort of informative.
And how does it feel to get the Mark Twain Prize? How is it different than all the other awards you've won?
What if I said, it's fine?
That would be very Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
No. It is. I'm very nervous. It's incredibly awesome. It's very humbling, and I cannot believe it's happening. Like, I might wake up and this is just some sort of cruel dream.
I know you had breast cancer and you're
Yes.
doing treatments. And
Yes.
And you was delayed to
Yes.
Has it changed your outlook?
It has. Yeah, I would say I certainly. I'm still, sort of, shall we say, reacting to the whole situation. But I would say that my, how can I say this exactly? I would say that I cherish my life even more than I did before. And I cherished it before, but now I'm well aware of how wonderful it is.